Hello, this is Ola, your host on The Unpolished Mum, your weekly podcast on all things parenthood, languages and real-life struggles. I'm really honoured you've decided to listen to me today, so let's begin. Hi again everyone, thank you very much for coming back to episode 2 of The Unpolished Mum. I'm Ola and I'm really glad that you're here today, especially that we've got a really special episode ahead of us. So today, it's the first in the series of episodes called How We Mother. And today, I'm speaking to Monika Sochacka and asking her how she mothers with cystic fibrosis. Monika is a single mom of 3 kids. She's got a son who is 8 years old and she's got 4-year-old twins. 2 of her kids, one of the twins and the older boy, have cystic fibrosis. 18 months ago, Monika decided to leave Poland, where she's originally from, to go to Portugal. And 6 months later, she moved to the UK. All that in hope for better care and better life for her sick children. Monika has done a few interviews before for some Polish newspapers and internet portals, but she did admit that she felt misunderstood and even a victim of trolling online. So today, we're not going to talk about what cystic fibrosis is and how you can get it, because, well, you can Google that. But we're going to talk about her, a mum of chronically ill children, her aspirations, her dreams, and her own personal story. So, Monika, thank you so much for accepting my invitation to come to the podcast today. And how are you?
Hi everyone. First of all, I would like to thank you very much for the invitation and say that this is my absolutely my debut when it comes to such an interview in English. So please be understanding.
I find it extremely brave that you've decided to speak to me, and especially in English. We're both Polish, so, it might sound a bit weird, but I hope that thanks to the fact that the interview is in English, we can reach more people. So again, thank you so much for saying yes to this.
No problem.
Lovely, fantastic. So I've prepared a few questions that will hopefully kind of show what your life is. It's got its highs and its lows, as I understand, but I'm pretty sure all of our listeners will really like to get to know you a bit better. So I'm going to start off with the first question. What 3 adjectives would you use to describe yourself as a mum, and why?
Yes, I was thinking about this a lot, and I find it really difficult to put it into 3 words. I think that like every other part of us, because this is how I see it as a part, being a mom. It has many faces, so many of them depend on the situation or our emotional state. So, for example, I can be very demanding in a moment. Later, I can be, I can allow everything and I pamper them totally, to be honest. So these qualities change, but I am certainly caring, brave, I think, and I above all, I think I'm real. I'm just, I do not pretend, I do not play in front of anyone. I try to be myself.
That's so powerful. One, if I can share my first thought when I've met you, and the first adjective that I would describe you with was dedicated. But I think the ones that you've mentioned are absolutely amazing, and it's great to hear that you are just a normal mom, just like we all are. I think it's great.
Yes, I think that we are mostly all of us think that moms with children with disabilities they are special, they are heroes. They do much more. But I think that we are exactly like you said. We are the same. We just have different things to deal with, but we are the same.
Yeah, I'd like to think that, but there is a little bit of a hero inside you. Like, as much as I know your story, I honestly believe that. But let's see what you think about that. So, my second question would be, how did motherhood change you, Monika?
Well, I think that nothing has changed me like motherhood,
Mm.
Yes, I was totally different person before. Motherhood changes you a lot. This is like like it is. But in my case, there are also a few extra things. Yeah, being a mother of disabled children, being a mother of twins,
Exactly.
being a single mother of 3 children, and finally being the only parent because my children's father died suddenly in January this year. So yeah, so that's a lot.
That's
And
really a lot.
yeah, it's difficult, but despite all of this, I think that in many aspects I have remained the same, and I'm really happy because of that because I didn't give up my passions. So yeah, that's for sure. Some features have sharpened. For example, I've become even more brave or stronger because I simply had to. And from the other side, some things have completely disappeared. How can I say? Because I will be never carefree again. So,
Is it, would you say, what doesn't kill us make us stronger?
I don't like this saying. I think it's not like it is, because it's not always like pain or suffering makes us stronger. It gives us just pain, and that's all, and the rest depends of us. So.
It's good that you're saying that. I'm not a fan of this expression either. I feel like sometimes people look for, like, those artificial ways of accepting that some situations are just hard. But what's wrong with saying it's hard? I can't deal with that and just let it happen, right? I don't know if that's your attitude, but from we haven't known each other for a long time, but I feel like that's just about it. Sometimes it's just about acceptance, isn't it?
Yes, and it's all about what we will do with it later, So we don't have to be strong all the time. We don't have to be brave, and it's all about the acceptance. I think things just happen.
All right. So we've started on a very serious note, but I'm guessing lots of people would like to know, how did you end up where you are at the moment in the UK as a single mom of 3, 2 of which are disabled? How did that all happen?
I've always felt good outside of Poland, and before I become a mother, I lived in Greece. I travel a lot, so I always knew that I would end up somewhere abroad, And after giving birth to a child with a serious disease, whose treatment in Poland was not easy, I knew that my goal was even greater, So I managed to do it, but I imagined it differently. I don't think anyone wants to voluntarily take the responsibility of 3 children, 3 young children, and leave their whole life behind and start all over again. But I didn't have any choice. I had to go by myself.
Why do you say you had no choice? So can you tell us a little bit more about, so what's different about Poland, Portugal, and the UK in terms of care for your children with cystic fibrosis?
It's it's totally different, you know. It's actually I could talk about this for hours about the differences, but it's not the case. As a single mom, I find, you know, much more support here. I can go, you know, and work. In the same time, I can receive support from because of my children's disease. And in Poland, it's like when you become a mom of children with serious disease, you just disappear, you know. And everybody, you know, they are doing what they want with your life, and you cannot, you know, you just just stay somewhere hidden.
Fortunately, I've never experienced that, but obviously we're talking financial support, we're talking like institutionalized support. I think we're talking about lots of things. And also, I feel like the awareness of the illness itself is not really at the level we would like it to be.
No.
I'm not sure if it's high enough in the UK yet. I don't know what your experience is.
I think it's different, and in plus, of course. I think that in many places in Poland, there's still like people see disease as some kind of something to be ashamed of, you know, and they don't want to speak about it. They want to be viewed as, you know, not normal or something. So I've met many people who were hiding that they are sick and they have some problems. And personally, I've received a lot of hate and a lot of judgment, you know, when I started to talk about cystic fibrosis, about my experiences. Well, yeah, it's a lot of work to do, you know, in Poland still.
I hope your life is just at least a little bit easier here. And how do your children deal with that? I know that your twins are quite young still, they are 4, but what about your older son? What's his awareness? Like, can he talk about his illness at all?
Yes, of course. I think that it all starts from parents, and you know, it will be always somebody who will say something or you know, notice that for example, Bruno is taking enzymes tablets at school, and he's different in some way. And I think that this is our role, our duty, you know, to just show our children that you know, we have something more to deal with, but you are exactly the same as your
we're the same,
colleagues,
right?
yeah. This is like, you know, like carrying extra luggage, you know. I'm saying this all the time to Bruno, and we cannot leave it, you know. We have to accept it, that we'll always carry it everywhere. But that's all. He have the same responsibilities as any other children. He, you know, plays, and he's the same kind of, you know, child like everybody else. But he need to be aware that there are some things that he need to do every day.
So is there anything that I'm just honestly very curious, is if that's okay to ask, is there anything that like so significantly makes it so significantly different in your daily life from, let's say, normal family without a chronic disease? What's different about your, for example, daily routine?
Okay, so our lives doesn't look differently, you know, but we have to do something more. So, for example, it's not so easy for us to just go out from home, because we have to do certain things. and it takes about 2 hours in every day, or even more when they are, having some bigger problems with